Every SOLIDWORKS user can relate to the frustration of spending time carefully creating a sketch, only to see it transformed beyond recognition as you add dimensions. Lines can flip sides, cross over each other, and fly off the screen, leading to the tedious trial and error process of figuring out which dimension to add first. To avoid this situation altogether, there are best practices you can follow, such as creating sketch geometry close to the size it will end up, and introducing smaller dimensions first. But sometimes you just want to get an idea sketched out without regard for dimensions and best practices. If you do find yourself in this situation, you should know about an often forgotten sketch setting called Automatic Solve. Watch here as I add dimensions to this sketch. Notice the various entities are not changing size as the dimensions are added. Instead, the entities in this sketch will not be updated until the sketch is exited, or until I perform a rebuild. To turn Auto Solve mode off, you first have to be in Edit Sketch mode. I'll start a new sketch, and then go to Tools, Sketch Settings, and I'll disable Automatic Solve. You immediately see in the status bar that for the current sketch, Auto Solve mode is turned off. I'll create some lines and put in some dimensions, so you can see that, in fact, the sketch will not update until I click Rebuild. There are a few things you should be aware of when turning Auto Solve mode off. First, not only are dimension-driven updates postponed, but also updates that would normally take place as a result of adding geometric relations. Here, I'll add a collinear relation, and you can see that the entities do not update until a rebuild is performed. Another significant side effect of turning Auto Solve mode off is that you will not be able to click and drag entities. Interestingly, though, you can select an entity and manipulate it using the Property Manager. One more thing to be aware of. When you turn off Auto Solve mode, only the current sketch is affected. You can see here that although Auto Solve is off, if I exit this sketch and create a new sketch, Auto Solve mode is once again turned on by default. This will always be the case with newly created sketches. However, if I go back to the previous sketch, it will remember the Auto Solve setting. Finally, because there are several side effects to disabling Auto Solve mode, rather than turning it off for long periods of time, it may be more convenient for you to turn it on and off quickly as needed. This can be done easily if you create a keyboard shortcut. Go to the Tools drop-down menu, select Customize, and go to the Keyboard tab. Do a search for Automatic, and highlight Automatic Solve. Enter your desired shortcut, such as Alt-A, and click OK. Now, whenever you need this handy setting, it's just a couple of keystrokes away.